Hey, what's going on, fellow currency hunters? Another beautiful day to bill search. Let's jump right into it. It's a total mix of stuff. It looks like I have a little bit of every denomination, hopefully. This is kind of a build-up over the last week or so of pocket money and stuff I've used at storage auction buys, stuff like that. So let's jump right into it. We start off with a Series 2017A $50 note. So these are the newer design 50s, mid to like early 2000s, something like that. I think around 2006, 2007, when a couple other denominations were undergoing graphics changes to counteract counterfeiting. 50s and 100s are actually the most counterfeited bills, 100s being the most. Generally speaking, due to the fact that American currency, for the most part, is the same size, unlike other countries, some other countries, that have varying degrees of sizes within their notes. U.S. currency, for example, ones generally can get washed and then reprinted over with $100 bills. That's a common counterfeiting thing, as well as a bunch of other practices. So like on hundreds, which we have one right below here, they added a security strip. That kind of really makes it hard for them to counterfeit the bills. But anyway, nothing really crazy was jumping out on the front there, but let's take another look at it just to talk about it. No shifts in the seals, serial numbers printed nice and clear, pretty crisp $50 note. Back of the note, same deal, really good depiction of the U.S. Capitol building, which is just a crazy building to look at. I mean, the structure of it, as well as many other historic buildings throughout DC and New York and stuff like that, share a lot of architectural features that are really beautiful to look at, but totally side video. Series 2009 A $100 note, nothing the serial number, nothing too nuts going on. As far as the anti-counterfeiting features, you know, it's color changing ink. They changed the graphic depictions of the note to have varying color-changing ink throughout it. They have things that'll come up under a UV light that is right in here, as well as the other side of the note, and a security strip. I have a couple videos that talk about anti-counterfeiting measures of U.S. currency. Check those out if that's something that interests you. Nothing on that note. Moving right along. A little bit of repetition of 3s and 5s in that serial number. We got an ink bleed up here. Looks like something totally unrelated. Usually, some places when they get straps of 20s, they'll just run like an ink thing down the side. Or something just got spilled on this one. Nothing crazy jumping out. Nothing on the back. Kind of cool bookends here, 83 and 83. It would have been nice if we would have had 83, then 4 zeros, and then 83. So this one's just shy of being a fancy serial number. Note has a little bit of damage to it. It's definitely been, well, all of them been in circulation. But this one shows it more than some of the others we've gone through so far. Bookends are the shared digits on the end of the serial number. Some people might want it to be like 38 and then 83 or whatever, 83 and then 38. And that might be true bookends, but this is close. But something to keep an eye out for. Reverse the note, depiction of the White House on the $20 note. Nothing crazy here. Sometimes you'll get a little bit of screw-ups as far as printing in these repetitious 20s. Those are another anti-counterfeiting measure that depicts a constellation, so to speak, called Orion. And a nice little date note, June 16th, 1158. I don't know if anything really took place. The U.S. didn't exist then. But I like to, you know, look into history on those dates, see if anything crazy happened. But it is kind of a minor find, I guess. I more consider date note fancy serial numbers ones that fell in U.S. history, not just history in general. But I'll set it aside and take a look at it here in just a little bit. If anything historically interesting happened on that day, I'll put it in the description box. Next note, Series 2017A $1 note. As many of you may know, dollars are used probably the most out of any denomination, or definitely So they wear out quicker. Their life expectancy in circulation is the least. But this one's not in bad condition. Pretty prominent wet ink transfer of the depiction of Washington from whatever note sat below this one on that. Keep on moving. A little bit of repetition going on, some crazy ink stuff, but it looks like kind of post-production damage to the note, so nothing, not an error note or anything like that. And nothing jumping out. I like to keep an eye on the shield and places where, really anywhere on the note, especially on the seals on the back of a $1 note, where really tight graphics are. Sometimes you'll get some blurring of those lines, stuff like that. 2017A, $20 banknote. Nothing in the serial number. No shifts or anything. Haven't got any star notes lately. Any shifts in serial numbers. Nothing too crazy. And the back of the note looks good. 2017. This one, you know, similar series, if not the same. I think the other one was 2017A. But you can see the difference in circulation, the wear and tear on this note, just from usage. So the oils from our hands, water, other outside substances getting on the note really depreciates the quality of the print on the note. So if you do come across something that is collectible, keep that in mind that, of course, condition, just like any collectible, really plays into overall value above face value. Good repetition is 7474, but kind of peters off there at the end of the serial number on this Series 2013 $5 note. I really like these fives, unless we're talking about ones a long, long time ago. Fives are kind of graphically, I really enjoy fives. Nothing there. Another $5 note, 2013 series. Good repetition of numbers in there, but nothing crazy. It would have been awesome if it was 42558824, because then we could have read it, well, it would have just been a really good repetitious note, not read forward and backward, but it would have had true bookends on it, which would have been cool, with a repetition of digits there in the middle of 5s and 8s. Nothing there. Really nice $50 note. Once again, just shy of just getting some, I mean, really good repetition in the serial numbers, but nothing fancy so far or collectible. Nice, clean $50 note. But nothing jumping out as far as collectability. Really beat up $1 note. Looks like the back end of this stack is the real pocket money, which is probably my favorite to search. The nice beat up, misbegotten bills like this guy here, really seen its day. I always wonder, you know, I like to go to Where's George every once in a while and see where a bill's been if it's been logged in. Pretty cool website. Nothing there. Series 2013 also, but this one's really beat up. And you can't tell through the video, obviously, but it's really thinned out. It's been wet a couple of times, so this bill's about at the end of it. With the discoloration, it looks like coffee or something got spilled on it one time. And this is not a misprint. It's just totally folded and creased up and beat up. Next note, 2017A, $1 note. Good repetition again of 4s and 2s, but nothing jumping out as a fancy serial number. Little bit of wet ink transfer there, but totally acceptable. Getting down to the last two notes. Another 2017 $1 note. Little beat up, but not too bad. Nice printed seal, no shifts going on. That's another thing to keep an eye out for. And nothing on the back. Last but not least, 2013 Series $5 note. And another repetition of 172, but nothing crazy. I get asked that a lot. If it's not really a repetitive digits across the serial number or pattern of sorts, I would call this just a random serial number like any other, and it wouldn't be too crazy collectible. Let's look at the back of the note. Beat up, but nicely printed, nothing crazy coming out. Little bit of discoloration at the top there. I'm not really sure what that is, but it doesn't look to be something on the note, or printed in the note, rather. So the only small find we had in this bill search is a little date note. Yeah, I'll look to see if anything historical happened on that day that's just interesting, and I'll put it in the description box below. But unfortunately, not every bill search comes up with anything super great, but that's the wonderful thing about this hobby is, well, you end with the money you started with, right? So you can't say that about a lot of collectibles or hobbies, and that's what's awesome about bill searching. Hopefully you came across something more awesome than I did. Let me see those error notes and fancy serial numbers. Shoot me an email, comment on the website, varietyerrors.com. But like always, in the comments below, let me know what you've come across in your coin and bill searches lately. Thanks for coming to the video, and I will see you in the next one.